This comes as questions continue to swirl around the agency's future. Trump campaigned on shutting down the U.S. Department of Education.
That proposal worries a lot of people here, especially for schools dependent on the federal Department of Education for funding. News Sports' Spencer Humphrey set out to find whether Oklahoma can adapt to the possible change.
It was a key campaign promise.
Department of Education, You say, what the hell do all these people do?
President-elect Donald Trump vowing to end the federal Department of Education.
I want to close up Department of Education, move education back to the states.
And with voters choosing to send Trump back to the White House, that promise could become reality. What exactly the process of dismantling the department would look like, unclear right now, but the uncertainty alone is concerning enough for people like State Rep Melissa Provenzano.
Without the United States Department of Education, you say goodbye to the rights of our special education population, the parents who advocate for them.
The U.S. Department of Education runs what's called the IDEA program, providing schools with millions in funds to help students with special needs. It also provides funding for things like 504 programs, which help students with disabilities like dyslexia, autism, or ADHD tailor their education to fit their learning style.
And if that all goes away, it becomes very easy to not provide those services. And so what replaces it is anybody's guess. Don't have those services. How are we serving those kids?
The U.S. DOE's biggest expense comes in the Title I program, which provides billions of dollars to schools with large numbers of economically disadvantaged students.
In Tulsa, when I was the principal at a middle school there, I got 100% of my kids lived below the poverty line. And so those funds were invaluable to providing those extra resources.
Provenzano says in some cases, and especially in rural and low-income areas where income tax revenue is sparse, that federal money can account for the majority of a school's budget. With Trump proposing states now be the ones to handle these issues, Provenzano worries Oklahoma is not equipped to handle that burden.
We need a rollout plan. It would be best if the agency stayed in place. If we're going to do this, we've got to proceed with caution so that children are protected. And right now, children, the most vulnerable kids, are at risk.
So is Oklahoma ready to take this on? We wanted to know what Oklahoma's education leaders thought. As it happens, a national education think tank hosted a convention in Oklahoma last week, where we found a couple of them.
To be honest with you, I couldn't begin to imagine what President Trump's vision is going to be for that.
Oklahoma State Secretary of Education Nellie Sanders says she, too, is waiting to see what Trump's exact plan is. But regardless, she's confident Oklahoma is equipped for the job.
What I can say is that the governor is very, very engaged with our executive branch of government, and he has I work a lot in that area as well with our U.S. Department of Education. So whatever that transition is going to be, I assure you that we'll be at the forefront of it.
That's comforting for people like Provenzano.
Well, I have to applaud Secretary Sanders because that's been her messaging, since she stepped into the role.
But she still wonders, where in the world will Oklahoma get the money?
How that gets executed, the nuts and bolts of that is the big question.
So we took that to State Senator Adam Pugh, who chairs the State Senate committee that decides education funding.
I would say to Oklahomans, no matter what happens in Washington, D.C., or no matter what our federally elected leaders decide to do, we're going to make sure that services are provided to kids.
He says with so much still up in the air about what will and won't remain of the U.S. DOE, now is the time to let people like him know what's important to you, telling us he's ready to draft up any bill he needs to keep the funding coming.
We are working on legislation for the upcoming session starting in February of 2025. Now is the time to really connect with your legislator and build a relationship. Tell them your stories, talk about your family and your community and what you need, because now is the best time to connect.
Now, Representative Provenzano tells me with all that in mind, she still has questions about where a state like Oklahoma could possibly get the money to fund any bill the state legislature passes to keep those programs alive when basic education funding is already such a fight in this state. That said, things I keep hearing from people, no matter how they feel about Trump and his plan, is that right now there's just so much uncertainty. We'll really just have to wait and see exactly how this plan plays out, if even it does at all, to know how to best move forward.
Thank you, Spencer.